Senator Vincent Leibell.
Before he slips out of me, John Fassel over here. Great Republican. Colleague for many years in the legislature. It is a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. I want to say that there are many members of Congress, but Peter King is much more than that. He's a national asset. We can all be immensely proud of the service. In a world that has gone totally politically correct, that guy's got guts. Farley, thank you so much for asking me to be here and to chat with you folks for a few minutes today. You know, a couple years ago, we had an interesting fight in New York State. I don't know if you remember the gentleman's name, Elliot Spencer. And the issue was giving licenses, driver's licenses to illegal aliens, which posed for our people in government, security businesses, quite a tremendous risk. Now, I thought that that was about as stupid a thing as I had ever heard of. Only to be succeeded by President Obama's and his Attorney General's decision to hold terrorist trials in the Southern District of New York. That surpasses Elliot by far. Elliot lost that distinction. As Bob noted, we passed a resolution a couple of weeks ago in the State Senate. I'm sure the Assembly will never consider this. But the State Senate forwarded to the Attorney General and the President, explaining to the administration our great concerns as New Yorkers, as Americans, with holding these trials here in New York City. Now, this was hotly debated. And there was a great deal of give and take. And what frustrates me so greatly is the inability to convince elected officials and many of our fellow citizens that we are in a war of national survival. Now, not every war is a war of national survival. I'm going to suggest to you that this clearly is. That we have enemies out there that wish to terminate us as a nation and as a people. This is not something that is going to go away easily. And in an age of backpack nuclear weapons, in an age of chemical weapons that can cause massive harm, in an age when you can so damage the food supply very easily, this is a war of national survival. In debating that and presenting our resolution before the State Senate, I commented that we as Americans can be politically correct all the way to the cemetery. We can make everything that'll be nice, make people happy, play Miss Pity Pat, all the way to the cemetery. But as you heard Congressman King most eloquently lay out for you, this is no time for political correctness. If somebody's bad, they're bad. The nature of the people we are fighting are among the most violent human beings on the earth. This is not the person who goes in, even though it's wrong, but not to be compared with the person who goes in and holds up the local liquor store. That's wrong. That's bad. These are people who torture, rape, burn, fellow citizen of ours. They do not come any worse. I don't care what their religious background is. They are war criminals. We have a long history in this country of using military tribunals where appropriate. Going back to before the Civil War. And we had a president who used military tribunals, not too far in the past, Franklin Roosevelt. He did it with Nazi saboteurs. The first wave of those who were supposed to come into this country, in fact right into this area, and were supposed to commence massive civilian casualties, and were supposed to commence a reign of terror in this country. Now, FDR was a Democrat. God, we could use him back. He had the courage and the political will, and there were some who opposed this decision, to say, we're going to try you in a military tribunal. You're going to get a fair trial, but it's going to be a fast one. And we will send out a message that if you come to our shores and wish to do harm to our citizenry, we will try you, and then we will execute you. That message resonated. It had a huge impact. The thought of one's death will do that. And I don't care if they say these enemies we face today are fanatics. Trust me. Let's read our history books. So were the Nazis, and so were the Japanese in World War II. And we knew how to end those reigns of terror. In explaining this on the floor of the Senate, I wanted to make clear that we were not asking that these trials be moved out of New York City and New York State. I was not a real estate agent. I was not looking for another location. The people who are in Florida or Idaho or Texas are my countrymen. Neither should they have this curse placed upon them of having these trials. These trials, as Peter said, appropriate, probably Gitmo. Guantanamo Bay. Get them away from us. I asked one of the highest ranking intelligence officials we have, quite a few weeks ago. I asked him, what do you think about having the trials here? And he said, get rid of them. Absolutely emphatic. Get rid of them. We don't want them in New York. We don't want them anywhere in this country. We don't want our civilian judicial system jeopardized. Our judges, our jurors, the security people who work there, that's not appropriate for them. This is appropriate for a military tribunal. I'd like to tell you for a few moments about how we handle Homeland Security in the state legislature. There's not a comparable committee in the Assembly, so we're in the Senate. Peter King, he's more the offense team, I'm more the defense team. We take within our jurisdiction just about everything that can happen. Bad weather, pandemic, swine flu is driving our staff crazy this year.